Hello and welcome. I'm Jamie and you are listening to the Everyday Queen podcast, the place where we celebrate everyday queens conquering their inner BS and doing epic things in life, love and business. This podcast is for the mamas navigating mum life, the boss babes killing it in their careers, the biz babes forging their own paths, and all of you queens in between. I'm here to share with you the real, the raw, and the BS-free tips and tricks on turning your inner mean into an inner queen so that you can show up every day fierce, powerful, and unstoppable. Let's get to it. Merry Christmas, everybody. Okay, it feels so weird saying that because I am recording this podcast early in December. It's not actually Christmas Day. I'm just being super organized. But this episode will be live on Christmas Day. And hopefully, as it goes live, everyone is surrounded by loved ones, be that family or friends. And I hope that you're all eating and you're drinking and you're just having a freaking good time because this year has been so tough. But you know what? When this episode goes live, there are 6 more days left of 2021. Yeah. Just 6 days. 6 more days before we get to wipe the slate clean and start again fresh for a whole new year. Another 365 days that we get to work on ourselves and work on our dreams and to actually enjoy this amazing thing called life. I'm actually sitting here while I record this and I'm reflecting on this year and what it has been for me. And you know what? While you're listening to this, I would love you to do the same thing. Are you proud of how you showed up this year? It's been a really tough year and it's tough to face so much adversity, but still show up for yourself every day. And you know what? I'm actually so proud of myself this year. For the first time in a really long time, I feel like I made a huge effort, not just to show up with my best foot forward, but to show up even when I felt like I couldn't put my best foot forward. So I actually really want to take that and, as Grant Cardone would say, 10x it for 2021. See, just like you get to rewrite your story, you also get to rewrite your personality and who you are and how you show up. You get to choose the kind of person that you want to be. And no, this doesn't actually make you fake. We all know and we accept that we grow and we change with time, right? Have you ever actually sat and reflected on how different you or even your life are now compared to last year or maybe the last 3 years or maybe even the last 5 years? What if I told you that you could anticipate and even plan for future changes and growth? Yeah, you actually can. But first, you have to let go of the idea of being your authentic self. Hear me out, because I know there's going to be so many people sitting there objecting because we all have this fascination, especially when showing up on social media nowadays, with being our real, raw, authentic selves. And I'm totally that person, but let me explain. I try to be that poster girl for showing up real and raw and authentic. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't either. But the idea of an authentic self where you do what feels natural and what feels right to you and you steer clear of what doesn't is actually holding you back. Yeah. So the idea of being this authentic you is actually holding you back from the person that you're meant to be. Please keep hearing me out. You don't grow where you're comfortable. We all know that. And your authentic self actually keeps you in your comfort zone. Human behavior is goal-driven. Whether we are aware of it or not, everything we do has an end purpose or an end objective. So what if your personality was actually hidden in the things that you do? That would mean that by changing the things that you do, you could effectively change who you are, right? First, you have to actually understand why you do the things you do, which is easier than you think. I would love you to take some time after this episode and spend a little bit of time reflecting over your last 24 hours and how you spent your time in that 24 hours. In fact, write down everything that you did for the last 24 hours, from your morning shower to your morning coffee to your nightly Netflix binge. There is no shame, we all do it. Now go back over each action, everything that you've done, and write down why you did it. In fact, you know what? Pause this podcast and go and do it now. Because becoming more mindful about the purpose behind your actions will allow you to identify actions that don't actually serve you, but that you're probably doing anyway. And you can reflect on all of your actions by asking yourself, am I being true to the self I want to become? This question is actually the key, because at the end, you can eliminate anything that is not true to the self you want to become, and then you're effectively changing your personality. So who do you want to become? I want to welcome you now officially to part 2 of my Kick Ass in 2021 mini-series. In this episode today, I am going to do things a little bit differently. I want to take you on a guided visualization to help you not only design your higher self, but to be able to take that version of you into 2021 and actually kick butt. So if you don't already have one, go and grab a notebook and a pen and go and find a quiet place, whether it's in your house or go out to your garden, or if you're lucky enough to live by a beach, you need to go there. And let's get started. So I want you to start by taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Roll your shoulders and your neck around a little and give those hands and wrists a really good shake. Settle in, get comfortable, and when you're ready, I want you to close your eyes. Now, imagine you are 12 months from now. It's the end of 2021. It has been an epic year. You have achieved everything that you set out to, and you feel so freaking proud of yourself. Take a moment and allow yourself to feel that pride and feel that accomplishment, and let it fill you up. Now I want you to imagine that you're standing in front of a mirror and you're looking right at yourself. Who do you see staring back at you? What does she look like? How's her hair styled? What kind of clothes is she dressed in? What about how she smells? What sort of perfume or fragrance can you smell? Is she smiling? How does it make you feel standing there and looking at her? And how do you think she makes others feel around her? And while you're thinking about those other people, who are they? What type of people is she surrounding herself with every day? How does she start her day? Does she have a coffee or a lemon water or a green juice? What does the rest of her day look like? How is she spending her time? And most importantly, who is she spending her time with? And what about her weekends and her downtime? What does she do for fun? How does she take care of herself? What lights her up and makes her heart really sing? What is important to her? And what does she value? What else about this version of you stands out? Now I want you to ask your future self the following question. What do I need to know to get me from where I am now to where you are? what would be the most helpful? Listen to what your future self has to tell you. Now take a moment and ask your future self any other questions that you think you might need to know going into 2021. What other questions would you like to ask your future self? Good. Now thank her. Thank your future self for being here with you today and sharing all of that wisdom that is going to guide you into another epic year. I want to draw this to a close now. So I want you to take another deep breath in. Roll your shoulders and neck around. Shake out those hands and wrists. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Take a few minutes in silence and write down everything you want to remember about your future self. The more detail that you can go into here, the better. Because what you've just created is not just a list of things that you can reflect back on, but you have created a recipe of who you need to be in 2021 and how you can become it. And whenever you're faced with a tough decision or something that you need to do, or even just something that you need to do that's going to get you out of your comfort zone, you can think back to this list and put yourself back in that place, feeling those feelings, and ask yourself, does this align with the very best version of me? Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you love this episode, be sure to let me know by leaving a review or sharing and tagging me in your stories. If you aren't already following me on social media, come and get your daily dose of BS-free inspiration at Jamie Lee White. While you're there, click the link in my bio to download my free workbook, 3 Steps to Overcoming Your Inner BS. That's it from me today. I can't wait to chat to you in the next episode.